Hey everyone, welcome to Arc Auto Review. We have another kind of news update going on with Porsche in the future of their EVs and internal combustion engines, uh, and what the company's looking to do in the future, and bringing internal combustion vehicles to the market, kind of slowing down or pulling back on EVs, and what they've seen in the last couple months or at least couple weeks since the new administration, kind of the market going on in China with their EV production and sales and their expected growth or lack of, um, some other things. So we got an article from Top Speed, and we're just going to go top to bottom and kind of go through, the company and some of the executives and their thoughts on the company and where they think they'll be. So as we know, EVs and automakers, they were heavily pushed. They were encouraged. Automakers were starting to build new plants specifically for these vehicles. You look at GM, Ford, uh, many others, Volvo, some bigger automotive companies that have tried to integrate and do this with electrical vehicles, and they haven't had the best results. Consumers haven't taken a hold of EVs as well either, though we see many on the road today more than ever before. It's still a challenge for consumers to wrap their head around. So basically, that's the beginning of the article, kind of looking, um, you know, but these companies think their projected EV sales would be in 20 by 2030. And you got to remember, some of these projections, there's someone behind, you know, these companies that are projecting based off of current political environment, government, policy that's in place, um, and just the economy and a bunch of other things. So some of these projections that were made for 2030, years ago, or in 2020, or a couple, let's say 2022, some of those projections obviously will fall very short. It's a projection. It's not a guarantee. It's an estimate of where people in the company thought based on current climates and stuff and whatnot, where we could end up with EV sales. And so I just wanted to let you guys know about that as well. Just kind of a little bit of my background revolves around forecasting. So um, looks like customers are still interested in the internal combustion vehicles, and we'll see a little bit later in the article why that is and what kind of segment they're looking for these vehicles in. So yeah, so we'll keep going. Looks like Automotive News had an article on EV sales, kind of pulling back. The CFO from Porsche had mentioned that the premium luxury segment in specific is turning in the direction of combustion engine cars, aka they're no longer looking for just EVs. They're looking for these vehicles to stick around a little bit longer. They enjoy the ride and the quality of them. So Porsche, being a company that seems to be interested in appeasing their customers, they are going to react to the current product offerings that they have, and they're going to focus on internal combustion engines instead of solely focusing on EVs and trying to um, obtain their target by 2030. So here we have a little bit of a blurb about some of the models. One of them being the Porsche 911, kind of their projection on it, um, and kind of the future outlook on some other models that are going to be continuing within internal combustion engines instead of EVs. Um, so that they can give customers more of a wider offering instead of limiting customers to a few vehicles. So down here, it's Porsche's thinking about offering a couple of hybrid vehicle models, and I think that's a good strategy. I think hybrids are a really efficient vehicle. I think they offer kind of both worlds without completely committing to one or the other. Hybrids have been around for a long time. You look at manufacturers like Toyota and what they're trying to obtain with hybrid vehicles and what they have obtained. And, they've been great vehicles, long lasting, um, efficient vehicles, and reducing carbon footprint if that's of interest to, government entities that are worried about that kind of stuff. So I think it's a good move by Porsche to look in that direction. I think we also have seen the EV slumps, in China, so that's played a big role, and just sales dropping. Looks like Lotus is rethinking their strategy as well, looking to add hybrid technology, extending driving range to luxury customers. So one of the things with luxury customers is that they're not really price sensitive. Um, they're looking for a vehicle that can stay on the road, but one of the biggest things with customers across the board with EVs and not knowing how they function is an entire range that they can offer. So if you hop in an EV and you use, the heat or the AC, are you going to worry about reducing your vehicle's capacity to drive? So let's say, an EV advertises that they get 500 miles of range on a single, 100% full charge. But, there's companies that I've seen personally, Ford being one of them, where if you turn on the heat or you turn on the AC, it drastically changes that range and the vehicle becomes very inefficient. So your projected 500 miles of range turns into, nearly half that amount. And so it's a little bit of a headache for the consumer. So as we can see, that's kind of something that luxury customers are um, they're looking to extend their range. So I think hybrid again would be a great way to do so. And I think it's, where Porsche's at is that's their bottom line is that they want to increase sales. They don't want sales to decrease, right? And they want to keep vehicles on the road that appease customers. That's kind of the bottom line of this article and this news going on with Porsche that's been so heavy the last couple of days. So looks like the EU uh, has kind of a bit of an issue with combustion vehicles. Porsche is trying to work with them on it, um, looking for fuels that could replace potentially gasoline, um, kind of reducing carbon footprint and whatnot. Um, so looks like Porsche's playing a card of two different worlds. They've got the internal combustion, they've got the EV world, got hybrids in between. Looks like they're trying to attempt to really offer as many products as they can, keeping the customers happy, and appeasing, regulatory agencies and governments as well. So that's the end of that video. If you guys found this video useful at all, please like, subscribe, comment. Anything helps as the channel is growing. I'll have a couple of videos out for the rest of the days of the week. You can expect a couple more, even maybe a couple more uploads each one of these days as well. So I look forward to bringing you guys some new news, some of the stuff that I've been reading throughout the week, and I'll see you guys on the next one.